Let's welcome on board none other than P. Venkatesh Rao, the MD at Uttara Foods and Feeds. He joins us on the show right now. Mr. Rao, morning. The last time we were chatting, you had spoken about how the industry per se does very well in the winters. Has that been the case this time too?
Yeah, I think because of the rates have been good, as I've been always hovering that the monsoon was good, and then the winter, the consumption goes up. And interestingly, and it's been doing normal and good as far as last 3 months have been coming up.
Last few years, the glut situation in the poultry industry also hampered your own growth and the profitability as well. What's the situation now? And would you say that those troubles are far behind you?
It is a livestock industry, ma'am. So anytime anything can happen. But I think we have controlled major productions all over the nation, particularly, and then it's give and take, and the market is asking, and then we produce that much. But I think right now, because the main raw material, maize and soya, have been constantly at the same rate, and are going to be till I think till the monsoons. So I think if anything happens and the monsoon doesn't come in time, then there's going to be a problem. Otherwise, everything looks stable.
Right. Last few years, Mr. Rao, the glut situation in the poultry industry hampered your own growth and profitability. What's the situation now?
I think normal now, and it's the glut. I think is now over for about a year now, and I think we streamlined the whole process, and I think it's a livestock, and suddenly somebody over expands in some states, then suddenly because of the infrastructure not developed properly, wherever the requirement is, the production comes there, and then suddenly the glut starts. So you have to be very careful in this livestock. But right now, I think for next couple of months, it looks great.
Right. Give us a sense on also the outlook on maize and soya prices. Last year they were quite benign. What's the trend looking like right now?
Right now, as far as the season is concerned, I think it's doing normal, good, and the productions are good. And even as far as the government, I think it's helping us from getting from the godowns, the government godowns, and all over the country. And I think the farmers also getting better rate. And I think the maize production, the soya production is, I think, 10% higher than the last year. So it looks a very, very winning situation because the export rates are not so high and normal. I think the local is totally supporting from the government angle. It's a win-win situation for the poultry industry. I hope this continues, but it depends totally on the monsoon how it is going to perform. So it is good till say you can say March, April, May, but then you totally depend on the monsoon in India. Yeah, because soya and maize is the main raw material. 75% of the feed consumption is 75% is maize and soya. So we're totally dependent on soya and maize, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, how is the branded processed chicken products contributing to your overall revenues, and where do you see this pie going forward? And also, if you could highlight how your new foray into protein powder is going.
Very good. You know everything. No, I think the chicken products as for the Venkys, we have come out with some new products like various new products like the biryani, the kebabs, the murg masala, and things like that, many more. And I think the overall contribution is hardly anything from Venkys group as such is 3 to 4%. It's more like 4C of the front of the company. It's like going to the depth of the retailers and the consumers. So it is, of course, it's a win-win situation for Venkys and the product and the quality, of course. But as far as the second thing you asked was, what was the second thing? Pardon me, please.
To know about how the new foray into protein powder as a product is doing for you.
Protein powder is doing good because the youngsters and at every age group, I think they're consuming and slowly at about 2 to 3% per annum it is increasing because I think everybody has become health conscious and not only in India, not only in the metropolitan cities but rural area also you can see nowadays people consuming even the workers and these people everybody of course, everybody is the same, but everybody started, inquiring and taking, and we are trying to. The percentage I would say is 2 to 3% from our productions, which is increasing. Yeah.
Mr. Rao, what does that mean for your margins? Do you see margins improving?
Margins automatically, I would say, are not very much improving, but improving because if the raw material is stable and if the the end price is good in all your products, then automatically you see a little bit of a jump of 4 to 5%, and that's what is happening. And everything is looks like stable now, and I think we have to wait and watch as far as the poultry products, as the HP, as far as the oil seeds, whatever you see from Venky's angle, and of course the parent company Venkatesh Rao Hatcheries is also the production center is also doing okay.
You know, your debt level was extremely high, but you've managed to cut it down sharply over the last few quarters. What's the current debt level, and by how much do you plan to reduce it to become debt free, if that's the plan eventually?
It would be very difficult to tell you right away because it depends again on the next season, and then it's going to affect if I commit to you something and then and it says okay, this is the percentage we're having. So it is very difficult to commit on particular percentage. But yes, of course, we have cut it down, and because as I repeatedly said that poultry products expansion or oil seeds production expansion or AHP production expansion, all these are completed, and as you know that we are trying to bring down our debts as fast as possible. Percentage would be a little difficult because then if I commit something, then again after 3 months, maybe you'll say that what you said, Mr. Rao, is not right. But yes, we are coming down with the debts.
Good to hear that. You've also been able to post very strong quarterly numbers of late, thanks to the kind of revival and improvement that one is seeing in the industry. But will you be able to continue with this kind of performance, especially since the problem of overproduction is also a risk for you in the near future?
In poultry, I don't think so. It's a risk-free of production because people say good money and suddenly jump and suddenly expand, which is the benchmark is 10%, but they will expand to 50 to 60%. Farmers. So it is very difficult to predict. But yes, again, it depends on how people are going to take it and how people are going to listen to you in the industry, and basically expanded 10 to 12% only per annum. And then of course the rains and the major maize and soya, and then of course. It depends totally on the market. It's a sensitive market also because then you have festivals, you have various other things also. So you have to be very careful, and it's all depends on traders, farmers, and the producers, of course.
I understand that you can't give us an individual target as to, how much do you plan to bring your debt by. But tell us, by when do you intend to become a debt-free company?
I think that nobody can tell me, because not that I'm being over smart or something like that, but I would say next couple of years we are trying to, but trying to and become is two different things. I've been always saying from day one that trying to, and whatever we are putting in front of you, the figures we are still trying to. But of course, the quality, the services, the infrastructure, the expansion plans, everything is on. So end result should be good. Let me put it the sweeter way.
Yes, that is what investors also want. Mr. Rao, we wish you the very best for the future. Thanks very much for joining us and sharing with us how business is shaping up for you.